Today I want to show you 5 basic embroidery stitches that you can do in just one little motif. I just drew this out with some water erasable ink, and I want to show you 5 basic stitches and how to do them and how you can put them into one little tiny project if you want to. So let's get our little stuff out of our basket here. Scissors, and I'm going to need the green, the center, the other little thing that I have, and what else? Okay, well, we'll go, let's use this, and the white. Do I want that white? Yeah, we'll use this white. Okay. For those of you who don't know what a running stitch is, it looks like little dashed lines. Little dotted or dashed lines. And I'm just kind of mimicking dirt on the ground, basically. So right now, I just want to put some dirt down. And I'm not really following a straight line. I'm just doing a little running stitch, just showing you what a running stitch is. And the needle I'm using is like a little tapestry needle or a bead needle. You would put beads on this. It's really long and really thin, and yes, they break very easily. But I like the fine detail that they put in to your piece. Okay, so I'm just putting, like I said, just a little bit of dirt down. And then we will change over the thread and start on the stem. I'll show you the split stitch next. So I'm just filling in this dirt here. And then let's move on to the next segment. Next we have the split stitch. And this is one of my most favorites because it really helps your piece look more realistic. I like this because it helps the piece not only look more realistic, but it keeps it more of a straight line, and you'll see what I'm saying. And the reason why we split it like this is so you don't have a very obvious break in your line. That's why you split your stitch. So you go in or you go up. It's almost like a back stitch, okay? And we'll talk about the back stitch later. It's almost like the back stitch, but instead of just going next to the line, you're going to go inside the stitch you just did. That's why I love this needle, because it can really split your stitch. Another way you can do it is you can come up through the middle of your thread. But it's harder to see that way. So if you're new at this, I wouldn't suggest that way at all. I wouldn't suggest that way. But you can do both. Okay, you come up on your line, or as close as you can, and then go down through the thread. And if you want, you're feeling really confident, you can come up through the thread again. So basically, the main idea here, and I missed that, I don't have my glasses on. The main idea here is you're splitting your previous stitch because you're wanting it to look let's just go back down. I need my glasses. You're wanting it to look as even and as smooth as possible. And we can't do just a long stem because this one has curves to it. That wouldn't work. So let me get my glasses on here real quick. So that's what you want to do if you can't do a solid line. So let's try this again. Go up. And then you're splitting the stitch and going down through it. Like I said, if you're feeling really brave, you can come back up through your previous stem and then make your next connection. Now, I don't suggest you do your connection over here because that's a curve and it won't curve right unless you couch it down. And I do have tutorial on couching. Basically couching is just putting an anchor thread there to hold it in place. And then we're going to work ourselves all the way up. Okay, so as you can see, a split stitch keeps it nice and straight and steady. And that way you can do your little curved pieces without making it look like it's got a lot of little joints, so you don't want that. So let's go to the next segment. Okay, let's learn the back stitch. And the back stitch is real simple to remember. You go in just like you would any other stitch, but you go back to the same point that you went down. See, I went down there and came back up here. So we're going to go back down into the same hole. You're not splitting it like we did here. And I went ahead and finished those stems. Although I wanted to do that as a back stitch, but so I can show you again. So we're going to go up to the next segment and go back down, connecting your line. Again, up to the next section and go back down. And that's a back stitch. So you can see the segments here, okay? And most of your outlining will be the back stitch, but by splitting it, you can see it's a little bit smoother. You don't have such interruptions, but it's not bad. It's still a very pretty look. Okay, so since we're here, let me show you the Lazy Daisy, and we'll do some leaves using the Lazy Daisy. So you're going to start at one point, go back down, but hold your thread. See how I'm holding it with this finger? Hold it, don't let it go all the way through. Then you're going to go in through the loop and anchor it down. So you can go on the other side. So see, we went through the loop and we have to go on the other side or it won't hold it down. So basically you're just tacking that down to create like a little point, and that's one way you can do a leaf. I have lots of tutorials in my stitching library on how to do leaves and different things, but this little stitching session, I wanted you to see the 5 basic embroidery stitches that you need to know, and once you know them, how you can do a pretty little motif, little image here. Now I want to show you how to do a French knot. And see, that's the only thing I hate about pre-printing and all of that, because it really, you can't really see it. But before this segment ends, this little video ends, I'll wash it, all the ink off, and you can really see the picture, how pretty it turned out. So let's learn a French knot. You come up, and I'm using 2 threads. Throughout this whole video, I'm using just 2 threads. Okay, now you take your needle, and you're going to take this thread that you just came out right here, hold it about here, and wrap it around your needle 2 times, 1 to 2 times, sometimes 3, and then go down in the hole that's real close to it. You don't want to go down through the same hole, but you want to get it as close as possible. And see how I haven't let go? You don't want to let go. That's the key here to having a real pretty knot. So see, I'm still holding it with my thumb. Go down. See how pretty that is? And you can do lots. You can do all your flowers this way. All your center of your flowers, or you could do lots of maybe little tiny purple lavender or something. You can do all the little purple parts of the lavender this way, or you can make little tiny bugs or all sorts of things with these French knots. I use them for everything. I use them on little fine details of trees. When I want to do the leaves just a little different, I make baby's breath with it. Okay, now let's do the other lazy daisy, or the other daisy. Done so many lazy daisies, that's all I'm going to call it. Now normally I wouldn't stretch my thread from here to here, but I'm just doing this as an example so we can get through the video instead of starting and stopping my thread or weaving it in the back. Because usually I like to weave it behind on the back up there, so it looks just as good on the other side as it does this side. And someday I need to do a tutorial on that too. I've got so many tutorials I want to do, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I am planning on doing lots of stitches and even advanced stitches for those who have been doing embroidery for a while and want to learn new things in embroidery. Like I said, I've been doing this for almost 50 years, so it's been a while. I've been doing it since I was 9, and I'm 56, so almost 50 years. Goodness, time flies. My grandmother taught me. Okay, let's do one more French knot. See, we're wrapping it around, going back down near the hole we came out of, still holding my tension. And there you have it. And that's all your basic stitches. So you have your running stitch, your split stitch, your lazy daisy stitch, your back stitch, and your French knot. So I'm going to wash this and show you what it looks like with all the ink off of it. And there you have it. 5 basic stitches, all in one image. See how pretty that turned out? And that's just for beginner embroidery. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week.